Hello! Today we will learn how to use selection attributes on the form. I will use today the lunchtime application, generally the application to order lunch between the members of staff. And if I go into system in here, as an administrator, I can change anything I want in here. And I will go for the order, the form order, and let's see the form. The selection attributes, we have choice of radio button, a checkbox button, a multiple choice checkbox button, drop down, or a drop down with multiple choice where we can add more choices. Now what I want to show you today is radio and a checkbox, and maybe we'll do some drop downs. Now the radio button, to configure, we need to set the source for the radio button. So at the moment it says vertical orientation. I would rather have it oriented horizontally. And as a data source we have a choice of list or dictionary. In this case I will use dictionary. A dictionary is very simple choice for the data, for the fields, because we just add options we want. So in this case I just add two options, yes and no, and I will call this field company lunch meeting. So we want to set if this is a company or this is a people order. So this looks to be set now. Now the checkbox we can call company's expense. So the person in this checkbox decide if this is a company's expense, then they need to tick it or not. And we want to have it visible and editable. Now the drop down needs to be configured before we can save it. You see this triangular here shows that it needs configuration until we can save the form. So I will go into configuration, and again this is the same situation. We need to base the drop down field on some source. So the source in this case we will use the list. Now the drop down will be showing person responsible for the order, so I base it on all users. This is a system list available to other applications, and we want to use the column with the full name. Now we can save it, and the other thing I want to change is I will change it to person responsible. Okay, to add the same type of the list of this attribute, selection attribute, would be two options. I can either duplicate this list, you can see, go inside and change it to, for example, restaurant, and in settings I want to change to, so instead of the users list I will now use the list of restaurants, and the column we want to use to be shown here is name. So in this we would like to see the name of the restaurants to be chosen. And the other way of adding another drop down attribute is, again from here we just drag and drop here, and we need to configure. So as a data source, in this case we will do the dictionary, I'll change the name so it says status. So if I want this field to be a status, then I need to add some options for the status. In this case, I've added 5, and the names would be new order or collecting orders. The other one would be checkout and waiting for delivery, and the last one, it's delivered. We press save, and let's see how this form look like. So we go into forms, order, and in here I can do create new document, and now we have the option here, the button to check if it's yes or no. If it's a company's expense, we can tick it. Now person responsible comes from the list of users, restaurant comes from the list of the restaurants in the system, so we can choose something, and the status is to here available from the list of dictionary we have entered. I guess this shows how we can add selection attributes, what are available, and this would be what's covered today in this film. Please check our tutorials we have. Thank you!